All right, we got another patron request here. This time it is for Graveyard Shift. This is the only copy that I have. I actually have this and this on Blu-ray, Pet Sematary and Silver Bullet. So I'm only keeping this thing for this. Although when I bought this, I didn't have any of the three. But somebody bought me the Silver Bullet Blu-ray, and I found the Pet Sematary Blu-ray, the new one, the brand new one, for like $5 or less or something. It was crazy cheap. Anyway, so this was requested by Matt Smith, who has been a patron of mine for 1 year and 7 months. So when he asked if he could have another, I was like, a year and 7 months? You sure as fuck can. What do you want? We kind of, I can't remember. I think he picked a couple things, but ended up on this one. All right, so this is a 90s horror movie. I didn't realize that. So 1990. It's only an hour, or, well, maybe I shut it off at an hour and 20 minutes, and that's why I wrote that note. I don't think it's an hour and 20. Does it say on here? Oh, it does say on here. Oh yeah, it's only 88 minutes. So not far off. About an hour and 20. I think it ends at the hour 20 mark, and then there's like 8 minutes of credit. So yeah, it's a pretty short one. Now, this has people who look like other people in it, but it also has Brad Dourif. So the guy who runs the place, Warwick, at first glance, I was like, is that Fred Ward? Is Fred Ward in this? I don't remember Fred Ward in this. And then he like took off his sunglasses and like, oh, that's not Fred Ward. That's like a poor man's Fred Ward. And then the girl, the main girl here, Jane, she looked very quick. Like right when I first saw her, I was like, I knew it wasn't, but it was like, that girl looks like Marissa Tomei. Like Marissa Tomei in 1990, you know, like fucking My Cousin Vinny days. Who I still attest to be the most beautiful woman that's ever lived. I've yet to see a woman who's not only as beautiful as she was when she was young, but has aged as well as she has and still looks as fucking dateable as she does right now. I would go out with Marissa Tomei tomorrow when she's like 20 years older than me. Whatever. Anyways, moving on. So this is a Stephen King adaptation, obviously, and this is something I'd love to have, like a Stephen King Saturday or something, but I just can't add anything else to the rotation. So I'll knock them out. I mean, I'm going to be doing this channel for years. As far as I'm aware, I'm going to be doing this for years, so I have plenty of films to still cover. So many more series. We are nowhere near done. This opening reminds me of The Mangler. And I need to cover that. The only reason I haven't covered it is because it has 2 sequels, and I usually like to do everything in a series, and the sequels are abysmal, but they'd probably be fun to rip apart. I mean, it would be fun to do like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of setup where I watch these things and actually talk about them while I'm watching them. Ugh, Mangler 3 Reborn, what a piece of fucking shit, dude. So, I like that. I like in the opening, I'm looking at this place like there's no way this place passed inspections. There's just no way. And essentially, it kind of starts off with him paying somebody off to make them pass inspections. And it's like, I can only hold them off for so long. You have to get this shit done. Otherwise, you're getting shut down. And I was like, okay, I'm glad they addressed that. Because if they tried to pass this place off as like this was a working place that you could actually like work and it would be okay with whoever comes and checks that shit out, absolutely not. Ridiculous. Brad Dourif is essentially like the John Goodman of Arachnophobia or the Bill Murray of Caddyshack. He's there to kill the Kreutz. He has a vengeance against these damn little rats, and he's going after them. He's by far the best thing in this movie. The Marissa Tomei chick, Marissa Tomei lookalike, Jane, is pretty cute. Tomboyish, but I like tomboys, so she's cute. Overall, this movie it feels like a lot of like build-ups to nothing. Like there's really little gore, the kills aren't that great, the characters are okay. Warwick is a good villain, like a good villainous secondary villain character. He's the primary antagonist of the film, to be honest. The rats are kind of just like a product of their surroundings and whatnot. There's nothing malicious about their intent. And I don't understand why the main rat in this movie, since this is like a killer rat movie, is a giant bat. That doesn't make any sense to me. Is that supposed to be a rat with wings? Because a rat with wings is a bat. So I just, the wings, I was like, why does this thing have wings? It doesn't even fly in the movie. So why not just make it a big rat? I don't understand that at all, but whatever. Maybe they mentioned it somewhere in the film and I missed it, but there you go. I like how in these older movies like this, that they have like sexual harassment on display right and left, and there's just nothing being done about it, nor is anybody. They all laugh, like this girl's like just being groped in the diner by the guys in there. She's like, "Come here, honey, are you on the special?" Shit that would never fly in a million years today, but back then they were just like, oh, that's just Joe. That's just Joe making this girl extremely uncomfortable at work in a small town. Mind you. Of course, this takes place in Maine, like every other Stephen King thing, and they actually mention Castle Rock in it, which is cool. Andrew Divoff, if however you say that guy's name, one of the guys who plays Wishmaster, he's in this, and I like him. I like him in this. He also looks like somebody, I think I wrote it down somewhere in here, so hopefully I did, and I'll remember it. And then the 11 to 7 graveyard shift. I used to work that at Walmart back when I was about 21, and I used to get really drunk and come into work. Not proud of this, but I did. And I worked in furniture, and I could get, the furniture setups where they have like all the boxes underneath and then the furniture displays up on top. So I would go over there, and I was in charge of picture frames, putting away the big boxes, because I was like one of the, bigger guys, so I could carry the furniture and whatever. So I would, what I would do is I'd go in pretty drunk, and I'd work like super fast. I could get stuff done. I was very efficient, and I would go in. I just stock everything really, really fast, and then I push all the boxes in. And I actually would go right next to me. There was like bedding and pillows and whatever. And I would go and I would grab some pillows and such, and I'd make a fort underneath the fucking the furniture displays, and I would build a thing out of the boxes, and I'd push like one door open, and then I'd go under there with a pillow, and I'd lay down, and I'd like pass out for like an hour or two sometimes, just in my shifts, because I'd get everything done so fast, And then what you're supposed to do if you get done fast is you're supposed to go help out others, other places. But I would always crash out because I was drunk, and I was like. Then I wake up and I kind of be hungover. And one time this kid came in and he found me. He was the only kid. He was the only person that ever found me. It was some kid who like tried to come under there, and he saw me and he was like, and I was like, hi, and he just ran off. But yeah, I used to do that all the fucking time. It's pretty funny. I would go under there for 20, 30 minutes, just kind of kick back. Graveyard shift. I'll have to tell another story one day. Maybe the memory will come up somewhere, but it was the most foot in my mouth. It wasn't my fault, but to be for another time. Anyway, so I like the secretary's drinking on the job and fucking this guy behind his wife's back. We find out much later in the film that he has a wife. I did not even think this guy had a wife, but it kind of goes with his character. He's a total fucking douchebag. And dude, do not fuck around. Don't fuck around for any reason anyways, but seriously, man, chicks just kind of have more leeway, especially if they're like around a good guy who's not gonna fucking hit them or like intimidate them or anything, who's just kind of gonna be like, what the fuck, if a girl goes psycho and just starts demolishing your car, just taking all your shit and throwing it out the window. Like, there is that total double standard. There is that total double standard where if your girlfriend hits you, or if your girlfriend breaks all your shit, or busts up your car or whatever. Now nowadays, I don't know how much that would fly, but once upon a time, even 5 years ago or 10, like girls could do pretty much anything they want. They still can do a lot of things, and it's like laughed at. Like, oh, you shouldn't have fucked with her. Like, if you see a girl like throwing all a guy's shit out of fucking out of the house, and she's like throwing everything, breaking everything, screaming at you, people will laugh. They'll look at that and be like, oh no, you pissed off your chick, you fucked up, man. But if you flip that around and a guy was screaming at a chick and throwing all of her shit out the fucking, oh, you'd have a completely different response from the neighbors, from everybody. People want to beat the shit out of you. Trust me, it's fucking way different, because I've dated some pretty wild chicks, and they definitely get a pass on a lot of shit that I would never get a pass on. But yeah, don't mess with a chick. Hell hath no fury is a saying for a reason. Let me tell you what. Anyway, moving on. And Warwick, though, I mean, in this movie, it's portrayed the opposite, where Warwick goes down and he manhandles this secretary that he's fucking. He is smacking her around and all this, and it's just one guy, the new guy in town, who is just like overly mediocre, like in looks, in performance, in character, in everything's just so blah with him for me. And I feel like and I hate this because I do hate how beautiful Hollywood can be. I'm always just like, why don't you just give us regular Joes? Like regular people who just aren't attractive almost at all, or like kind of just unremarkable. Just kind of basic average people. But I can honestly say a lot of the times when they do that, especially if the person is like unattractive to me, even if they're male, it's really hard. They have a harder time winning me over. And that's just a prejudice that's built into a lot of us. I was watching this show on Netflix called like 100 something. 100, I think it's maybe not the 100. It's like a social experiment where they take all these people and they put them in different scenarios and age groups and whatever. And they take two different groups, and they put them in two different rooms, and they show them pictures of people and read the exact same crimes for two different sets of pictures to two different groups. And the group who sees the pictures of people who are like classically unattractive give these people way more sentence time and defend them almost not at all when they're not very attractive. But the attractive people are coming up with reasons. Well, you don't know. I don't know. Maybe she was not feeling good that day or whatever. And there was one, the last one. It was a pretty girl versus a not so pretty girl. And it was murder. It was murdering their child. It was like a 3rd degree or something. It was like manslaughter on a child or something. And they gave like one chick like 10 or like 30 something years or something. And they give the other girl like 18 or like 30. It was half just because she was more attractive. So there is a bias built into us, man. It's really weird. And with this guy, I just find him so like average, not even average, like less than average. Like I don't think he's attractive at all. Like as a lead, I'm like, ugh, who's this guy? And his character is just so unremarkable to me. I don't get anything out of him. His performance, like the way he carries himself, the way he talks to people, like there's supposed to be some kind of a romance going on with him and Jane, and I just don't buy it at all. Like, I don't know, just does not work for me. They should have Rowdy Piper here. Imagine this movie with Rowdy Piper from They Live. He's kind of got not like a similar hairstyle and stuff and whatever, but Rowdy is fucking awesome. He's not even that good of an actor, but he's just so awesome. He's so likable. Imagine Graveyard Shift with Rowdy Piper. That would have been badass. And it would have only been like 2 years after They Live, so he would have been like prime for the picking right there. Damn, missed opportunity. And I like that one of the characters in this is reading the book Ben, which is about rats, so that was cool. There's a scene where I think it's the secretary. Yeah, the secretary's coming through to fuck with him. She's gonna like expose him for some scandal. And she's talking out loud, like it's ADR. And her mouth, like she's coming down the hallway, and it is like so unbelievably apparent she's not saying anything. Like her mouth isn't moving at all. It's just completely added dialogue. I was like, wow, could you have maybe chose a different shot selection? Like, we can see her looking right at the fucking camera basically, and her mouth isn't moving. And I'm like, that's bad, man. That's real bad. The cleanup crew in this movie, I think, needs some masks and protective gear, but that just kind of goes to the shit heel that Warwick is. And then the guy with the fire hose who just keeps spraying this thing and screaming like he's one of the fucking, like, he's one of the platoon or one of the commandos or one of the mercenaries or whatever the hell you want to call Dutch's crew in Predator when they start firing out into the woods at nothing. He's like taking this fire hose and doing it up. And then one of the guys speaks up and tries to defend people, and he gets fired. And because of that, he lives. He gets to just leave. He thinks he gets fired and he's screwed, and he actually, just gets up out of there and is right. He leaves, right? Yeah, he gets fired and he leaves. And then and then it's the fat guy that falls down the stairs, and everyone comes after him. Yeah, so that guy gets to live, right? I swear. Yeah. I think he takes off. Yeah. So, hey man, never getting fired was never so lucky. Dorff's character is killed way too quickly. This is Jurassic Park all over again, which is what, 3 years after this? The raptor killer guy, teased the whole movie with this raptor expert. He's gonna fucking kill all the raptors, and then he gets killed by the first raptor he sees. Same thing here. Like, he goes down to the graveyard for what the fuck ever reason, and then boom, like he's killed. Like, and it's very creep show where the tomb collapses into him, like Ed Harris's character. Not obviously the tombstone, but like it's a coffin and it smashes into him. It's pretty good, but at the same time, it doesn't really show it, and it's just taking one of the best characters out of the movie super quick for kind of no reason. Then Brogan falls through the stairs, man. That place is seriously fucking terrible. And then Warwick goes straight blackface. Hopefully no one gets a hold of this footage, otherwise his career's over. Obviously it's not for that reason at all, but I thought it was funny. And I think that they freak out and turn frantic and desperately look for a way out so fast. They're like freaking out before the big rat even comes after them. They just fall down in there and they're like freaking and running and all this. And I'm like, why? Like, Salvation's like one floor up and people will come in the morning. Like, you're going to be okay. It's not a big deal. But they freak out so fast. And then, our main guy here and Jane, they go off and they find this casket and they're just like, grab a casket and just start using it as a flotation device. And then when it breaks open and a skeleton falls out of there on Jane, she starts screaming. And I'm like, what did you think was in the casket? Pudding? Like, I don't understand. Why are you screaming? Well, you knew what was going to come out of it. I don't know. That was pretty silly. And then Warwick lead first down. Oh yeah, so fucking Warwick falls head first down this like this shaft, and he's fine, just totally fine. He just lands and he just rolls around and he's good. This guy goes head first down a shaft that's probably like 3 fucking stories high, and he's just totally fine. This guy's seriously badass. The kiss between Jane and our lead guy, I never even wrote his name down. Jesus Christ. I also wanted to give a shout out. Shit, I forgot to do that at the beginning. Hopefully you're still watching. Mimistar. She became a patron at the First to Die level, as did John Richardson. So thank you guys both very much. I'll probably mention you in my next one because you shouldn't be that deep into the thing. I should have started it with that. I fucking wrote it right here at the top too, and I didn't see it. Stupid fuck. But the kiss between them is so lame, dude. It's so lame. I've given my mother much more passionate kisses than that, like full on makeout sessions. Just kidding, or am I? I don't know. I'm pretty fucked up. It's possible. There's just zero chemistry between them, none at all. And I couldn't buy it. And then Warwick comes down and kills Jane out of nowhere, which I did not see coming, which is great. And then they scream. Warwick goes to fight the bat, and he has like a knife, and he starts going all commando, and he yells like, "We're going to hell together!" And he jumps on him. That's great, but he gets killed almost instantly. This bat rat thing lair is really cool looking. There's skeletons everywhere. I don't know if that's all from the graveyard or if he's really killed that many people, but I don't know. A lot of Diet Pepsi in this movie, so I don't know if they had like some kind of product placement deal going on, but yeah, Diet Pepsi everywhere. They should have thrown some Mentos in it and sprayed it at the rat to kill him. That would have been great. Like pop a Mentos in there and then like put the fucking lid on it really quick and then throw it in the thing's mouth and shoot it. Smile, you son of a rat. And then at the end, we get the under new management. And during the credits, weirdly, during the theme song, there's like lines from the film that have been edited into the song and then like remixed. Really weird. It's like Ferris Bueller. No, I'm not sorry. Not Ferris Bueller. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You're messing with the wrong guy. That's such a weird part of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles when you have that, like dialogue. From Neil, just kind of inserted into the music. You're messing with the wrong guy. It's such a weird thing in that film. And an otherwise fucking perfect film. It doesn't bring the film down. It's still a 10 out of 10, perfect, amazing comedy. But where the fuck are Planes, Trains, and Automobiles today? Where the fuck is a Planes, Trains, and Automobiles in 2020? What has happened to comedy? What has happened to comedy in this fucking, in this decade? When's the last time you saw something as good as Planes, Trains, and Automobiles as a comedy? The Nice Guys for me would be like the last thing I could compare. It's crazy how rare good comedies are anymore. They had tons of them in the 80s and the 90s, but nowadays, comedies are shit. Anyways, all right. So thank you to Matt Smith and to Mimi Starr and John Richardson. Seriously, thank you.